Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. It's your girl, Akut Alegnakor, and I'm so excited to share. This is episode 2 of Empress Esoteric Hour. All right, here we go. Today we're going to talk about water signs. We're going to talk about the water table. We're going to try to move some of that nasty, stagnant energy in the water elements and try to get you guys up to a higher vibration. But of course, you have to do the work. So today we're going to talk about Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Now, for a couple of weeks, we've been analyzing your energy and trying to understand who's really not pulling their weight in the water energy. And Cancer, we find that it's you. So we've got a lot of information for you to basically click onto, because we know you like to click and pinch things. So pinch this, Cancer, and hopefully you'll be able to ascend higher and vibe higher and bring the collective up with you to where you should be. So grab your pen, grab your paper, get ready to take some amazing notes, and let's move forward. Hi everyone, welcome. This is your girl, Akut Alegnakor, and this is Donatella, Empress of Swords. Thank you for joining us. This is our segment of water signs in the Empress Esoteric Hour. Today we're going to be talking about the water signs and their energies and how they can best navigate this energy cycle, how you can best navigate this energy cycle utilizing the transits that are in place right now. We know what's going on. We know how to help you. We're going to push the energy where it needs to be moved so you can move forward. Donatella is very, very knowledgeable in water energy. She's got a lot of water elements in her chart. Her and I have been talking about water elements for a long time and how they're being affected by certain transits, and also how they're being used and manipulated and pushed into and off of their pathway by either earth or fire elements. All right. Air elements are always coming in and mixing things up and showing you exactly who you are and what you're doing. And so that's what the esoteric hour is really all about. Two empresses coming together with the air element, trying to show you how to balance your energy. So listen up, water signs. Grab your pen, grab your paper, sit your wet behind down, because this is about to get seriously juicy. We want you to know everything that you need to know so that you can grasp what you're missing, move into your North Node transit, and move forward into the abundance that you're desperately seeking. All right, Donatella, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. Donatella, Empress of Swords. You might have already seen me on my YouTube channel or on Facebook. I speak a lot about astrology and the elements. And one of the elements that's really important in all 4 of the different elements is especially the water signs, because water signs can pick up a lot of psychic capabilities. Water has a way of memory. It has a way of storing memory. So whenever you're around water, you can actually trigger back to a past life memory or years ago memory. You can actually pick up from memory just by being around water or being immersed in water. Do you ever have moments where you can get your focus much more clear when you're in the shower? You ever notice that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, water signs experience this on a day-to-day basis without even being in water, but they always remind us to be in water because they can actually feel the reset rush through the water. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the moon is also associated with Cancer, the zodiac Cancer. And
our mother.
Since they are the water sign, 80% of our body is actually made out of water. So whenever the moon goes through its phases, it's also affecting us too. And water signs are more known to going towards water whenever they feel like the heavy emotions, whether it's taking a shower, taking a bath, or going near a lake. They always remember to remind everyone to go near the water. And one thing that they're very knowledgeable about is nature. And sometimes we forget to get back into nature. And nature is really important, especially when you're trying to figure out the essence of things. How things work out, and through relationships, through growth. I keep seeing the color green everywhere I go. Have you been noticing that?
That is it.
And whether it's been people wearing green or a lot of green around me, it always reminds me of growth. Like whether a person is going through growth or they're going through changes. Whenever you encounter, especially like a Cancer in your life, in the zodiac, the Chariot card is the Cancer card, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as a Cancer is coming into your life, you're going to have to notice that there's a huge shift starting to take place. And if this cycle keeps repeating itself, if the Cancer is repeating themselves in your life, they're reminding you of a sentimental period in your life where you're clicking back, where you have to find a way to reset yourself. So earlier you were mentioning to me about the planets, right? Aries is going to be in Chiron. Aries is always trying to move forward. They never really like to look back. But the thing about water signs is that they are always sentimental and they're always looking back. So what do you do when you have these energies, these two types of energies? For example, fire and water. Sometimes it can make
somebody's going to get ousted.
somebody might get ousted, or it might make steam. It depends on if the Aries has any childhood wounds too. So, depending on whatever zodiac sign they are, regardless of whatever zodiac they are, through these next 8 years, like you mentioned, if Chiron is an Aries, we're going to have a hard time pulling forward and moving forward. But the person that knows how to reset this is usually Cancer. But the only problem that we can run into is when we hold on to sentimental things and we cannot move forward. When we're moving forward, we have to learn how to let go of things that are in the past. We learn from what is in the past. We learn what is good, what is bad. But you have to also learn how to level up, and that can take a lot from us. You have to have that Aries energy, if you know what I mean.
Well, one of the tragedies of the Cancer Collective that I have been studying for esoterically for probably about 12 years is that the Cancer Collective is actually as a whole body now. So Cancer, I'm talking to you. This is where you really want to get your pen and your paper, and you really want to take this serious. Have no judgment. All right. No one is talking about you personally, but then again, yes, I am. All right. So Cancer as a collective, you are here because we have a past life connection. All right. And with that past life connection means that we all, regardless of our sign, have the ability to reincarnate according to our karma or dharma. Right? Are you with me? So your notes want to say, yeah, we have the ability to reincarnate. It's starting with Cancer. Why does it start with Cancer? Because Cancer's absolute responsibility in this particular energy cycle, in this particular life cycle, in this particular collective is to cleanse. We never knew anything about Chiron until maybe 19, 20 years ago, right? When we learned about Chiron, of course, not just the existence of Chiron, but the properties that Chiron contributes to the universe and to the atmosphere and how it benefits us energetically and esoterically. What we've discovered is with this Chiron transit is that regardless of where it is, first of all, it moves very slowly. It takes 9 to 12 years to move from one transit to another. With Chiron in Aries, all right? With Chiron and Aries means that before you can have a fresh start, all right, regardless of what sign you are, before you can have any kind of fresh start, I don't care how fast you get to running, I don't care how hard you hit the ground, before you can start anything new, you got to go back and clean that shit up. And
that's right, because the surface is
Cancer is a conduit because of that telepathic water connection. Cancer is mama. Cancer brings compassion. Without Cancer, without compassion, there's no ability for us to exemplify love. And it's going to take love to get through in Aries with Chiron transit, right? So Cancer has to smack out of it, right? Cancer has to get out of their feelings. Like you said, get out of that sentimental energy and take a cognizant awareness of where they are. Are you reliving an entire past life and failing at it again? Are you suffering in this lifetime because you're not looking at this Chironian transit and saying, oh shit, I got work to do. Oh shit, I'm reliving a past life trauma and I'm trauma bonding with everyone that I'm connecting with. And I can't have healthy and beneficial relationships because everyone I connect to, I attach to. Everyone and everything that I come in contact with, I want to hold it and keep it for mine forever. It doesn't work like that. Cancer, you got to let it go and let it grow. And Cancer hasn't gotten that. Cancer suffered with this and whatever their past life lineage was. All right. So if you were to take this life cycle that we're living of, a couple centuries, 10, 20, 40 generations, and go back even further than that, you'll find that the people who exist today under the collective of Cancer are still repeating those 4, 5, and 6, and maybe even 7 to 900-year-old lessons. Cancer, you are here today living your yesterday because you are so deep in your feelings. You got to be stronger. You got to recognize, look, I can feel this. I know this. But guess what? You got help. You got Chiron and Aries. Heal it. Recognize it. Why is holding on to things so important to you? What do the things mean to you? People, places, things. Let them go. When you start to learn to let go of things, you start to purge from the inside and you heal from the inside. And Cancer, as the conduit of compassion, when you do this, everyone else gets to benefit that. When everyone comes to you, you got earth signs, fire signs, and air signs that are going to come to you for compassion, you can give them compassion. If you're not purging and releasing these things that you're holding on to in that sentiment energy, instead, You're trauma bonding and reliving your past traumas again and again and building karma. All right. And esoterically speaking, exactly, you're going down.
They're going to want to start. Well, they're the mother of the entire zodiac.
Yep.
So ever notice America itself, its birthday is in the Cancer month, July 4th, 1776. America itself is a Cancer. It has adopted other people and become the stepmother, as you will, to adopt a bunch of different children and then made them as a whole, made them as one. But then at the same time, Cancer has a responsibility, has a feeling of responsibility to take care of things. When things are, let's say, for example, if somebody is ever triggering with any mother issues, they're going to definitely run into a Cancer at that point. You're manifesting that energy. And if you don't understand that healing, Cancer does. If Cancer has ever gone through something, they're going through a healing still, or they've already gone through a healing and now they're nurturing others. When they start nurturing others, there can be a little bit of a boundary where they have to create for themselves. You know, as adults, they learn how to make great boundaries because they do know how to nurture others, but then learn how to have boundaries for themselves. The thing is that sometimes Cancer is sheltering or assisting people that are not beneficial for themselves, just because they have this responsibility towards other people, if that makes any sense.
Yes, I found that a lot of Cancers that I mentor and work with, especially from the feminine collective, they all report that they have estranged relationships with their mother, lots of trauma bonding with their mothers and their aunts and other feminines in their life. And that, I mean, just having that experience alone, I mean, I can relate to that. That in itself is traumatizing. But when you are a Cancer, all right, when you are in the zodiac, in the position of being a loving and compassionate person, you cannot be that. You can't be that because you didn't receive that, but you know it because you can feel it. All right. And that's where Cancer pain comes from, is they know better. They can feel that there's something missing, but they can't give it because they didn't receive it. So Cancer, you got to go back to Aries. You got to go back to Aries to begin.
Right. Either they're having frictions with fire signs or earth signs right now. I have noticed, because the task for a fire sign is completely different than the task for a water sign. They have different goals. So if their goals are on track with each other's, I don't think that they feel the comfort to be able to have goals with them. If that makes any sense.
Water and fire doesn't mix.
It depends on how good the temperature is. It really depends, because it's just like masculine and feminine energy. If one energy is more, the other energy blows out the other.
Yeah.
So it has to come in evenly.
They both have to be healed.
Boundary.
Or come together for, like you said, some sort of catalytic change to cause one to do the other.
Right.
That change, that precipice.
Now, my question to you is, okay, let's just say, for example, there's two partnerships. One of them is a water sign. Let's say we're just going to give you an example, Cancer. If there's something about this zodiac, let's say like they have the habit of nurturing others. If their in-laws and family doesn't like them or get along with them for any reason, that might not matter to a Cancer. They might just still cling on, even if it gives more problems outside of the family. Do you think that it's important what the family thinks? Especially when, let me give you an example before you give me your answer. Because they may cling on to someone for possibly for love, or it could be possibly for nurturing themselves or nurturing someone else. Maybe they feel like they have a responsibility towards this person. But is it really in fact love when they can't even have like a normal Christmas or a family event with the family? Yeah. And why choose a relationship like this? Is it because they're outcasted and they want to they want to put their partner in a relationship, but they're feeling outcasted too? Are they trying to mirror that relationship?
You know, Cancer is such a displaced energy and such a difficult energy to understand, to feel, to be around. You know, to answer your question, I don't think I ever met a Cancer person, and I have many in my family. I do have Cancer in my chart. And I know a great deal of Cancer people, and I never, and I don't mean to say this in a bad, condescending way, but it is the truth of, you know, my experience. I never met a Cancer who could stand on their own. All right. I never met a Cancer that, and I met them at different levels, different pinnacles of life, with different wealth stages. I've met very poor, drug addict kind of Cancers. And then, you know, I have mentored, you know, the highest level Cancer that I have ever worked with. I mentored, was actually my mentor. My mentor became my client. I was actually helping her more than she was helping me. And I was like, look, you can't help me anymore. I'm going to have to help you. And then I realized I really have to pull away from Cancer energy. And when it comes to Cancer, I run. I will put them on hold for a week or a month if I can. It's not unlikely. I will tell you, I'll call you back. And I have to breathe it out for sometimes a couple weeks because that energy is so damn heavy. And Cancer won't care. Cancer won't care how anyone feels, because when they think something, all right, Cancer can get so deep into their feelings. And if they're not healing that past, up to maybe 700 to 900 years of trauma, if they're not healing that proactively with this Chironian in Aries transit, and then that is a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. But if they're not diligently tackling that on a psychological level, I promise you right now, every Cancer that is not is bananas, is going absolutely psychotic right now. All right, give them a pill. There's a pill for that, and there's an app for the pill. I promise you, I'm going crazy.
More sensitive, because I respect them so much because of their intuition, their capabilities of their intuition. And if I see them getting erratic or insane, I know that they have a reason for that. Because their level of understanding when it comes to empathy is so high that it's almost impossible to understand what they're experiencing if you're not in their shoes sometimes, because of the level of feeling that they have, like the level of understanding that they have. They kind of feel like they're outside of the world because they have empathy for the world, but sometimes the world doesn't have the same kind of empathy for them. And if they feel that way towards other people, it could be dangerous for the other person because they have came through towards people in the time of emergency.
But it's because Cancer's not expressing themselves. Instead, they're not expressing feelings. No, they're not expressing it. They're repressing it, and they're dangerously in love, psychotically dangerous. They're explosive, manipulative, cunning, deceitful. This is what happens when Cancer is not willing to heal. When Cancer is not willing to heal, they become agents. They become agents for the devil. They work for the dark side, and they take everything and everyone down with them, including their friends.
Every zodiac sign, though?
No, we're talking about Cancer.
The best way. Sorry about that. The best way to explain this is that the most dangerous type of Cancer I've ever met, and with any zodiac, is the kind that has no faith in any type of spiritualism or God or anything like that. Like, let's just say that they'll do anything evil. Someone that is probably, I don't want to say atheist, but with any zodiac sign, just a God.
I was going to say atheist or scorn.
What was that?
Atheist or scorn. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Just someone that doesn't have any belief that they are going to get their own karma. You know how karma and dharma works? Just a person that doesn't understand, like, okay, if I affiliate with this or do that, how is it going to affect this? Yes, they have a high they have really, really high intuition, but if they're immature, they're going to use it as a form of belief, as a form of a
belief system.
They're going to use it as a form of abuse if they're not right in their mind, because they do have high capabilities of intuition. But if they are scorned, it can be dangerous. We got to take care of our people. We can't just let them feel scorned or leave them scorned. We have to find out what is the source of this feeling of feeling scorned. Well, same goes for Scorpio. I think that Scorpio would have the same feeling as much as Cancer does, but it's all a part of growing and understanding and maturity, just like with any other sign. The problem is when you're dealing with someone that is highly intuitive, what are they doing with their powers? And what's their perspective? Imagine someone with lots of power, but has the wrong perspective or has the wrong influence.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was someone with like magic powers, for example. Like, I'm just making an example. Someone that was very powerful, but their perspective is wrong. Do you know how dangerous that is?
Yeah. But, the good thing is that they only destroy themselves. They're really not a danger to other people until they exhibit that on a 3D level.
It depends on what
this is too much.
If they're assisting someone, in their mind, they're not doing any harm, but you could be enabling someone that shouldn't have help. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
Because if you're enabling someone that they don't have a chance to learn their lesson. So if Cancer, they are absolutely powerful. The problem is sometimes they can enable someone that they should not enable. They're not understanding what they're doing.
And that is when fire and water is a problem, because fire is mutable. And if cancer is able to, get that fire sign at that low vibration, if they're both on a low frequency, then all hell's going to break loose. You can have a witch and a warlock pair up together and basically kill each other. And everybody around them, they all go down because cancer couldn't tune in to their true feelings, because cancer refused to feel. Cancer will take everybody down, right? Because cancer refused to feel.
I think Pisces,
instead of having compassion, they spew pain and hate and anger, and they take everybody with them because everyone else is looking to attach to Cancer, expecting love and compassion and, sweetness and kindness, and they're not getting it. On a low vibe Cancer who is not healing, you're not going to get it. You're going to get the illusion of it. They will sell you a dream, but there is no dream, because their life, their soul is in an internal nightmare. They are the storm within. And so Cancer has to step it up. When Cancer says to themselves as a collective, you know what? I'm a nasty bitch. You know what? I'm out here doing this shit and I ain't got no business doing it. You know what? I could have been nicer. You know what? Maybe they're not talking about me. You know what? Maybe it's not even about me at all. And they start to look at themselves and they start to heal themselves. As Cancer rises up, it gives Scorpio and it gives Pisces a chance to say, fresh water. You hear me?
Yes.
And then everybody gets to heal a little bit, because Cancer will be contributing compassion and love into that Chironian transit.
Yeah.
That's how you move that energy for the water signs. It's got to start with Cancer. Cancer is bringing down the water house. Cancer, are you writing down?
I'm sorry about that. I was saying that I've seen two separate types of Cancers, one that's highly, really, really elevated, and one that is low frequency.
Yes.
And as positive as someone can be, someone else could be the complete opposite, negative. And when it comes to the high elevation, though, if let's say like any zodiac, like especially the water signs, if they're Cancer, they're Scorpio, if they're Pisces, they're going to get you, if they're a high frequency water sign, they're going to get you to the next level of your spiritual self. If they are already healed, you are in the presence of a master mentor, someone that can actually get you to a level in your life that you have never even imagined, never even fantasy inside of you. So it just really, really depends on who you're around. If you can spot these traits that are toxic, anybody can be toxic. Any of these zodiacs can be toxic. If you could spot the traits of these toxicities and find some kind of healing, if this person is healing with you, I mean, even if you start out in the presence of someone that's toxic, if they can transform, or if they are in the process of transforming, you're going to see something magnificent, especially if they have water in their chart, because what they do with their emotions has the triple and ripple effect, like dominoes hitting down and affecting everybody else. Because Cancer, you have to remember, it's the satellite and the moon. So everything healing is bouncing back to us.
Yes.
So when good, it's going to affect you too. So if we're thinking negative about them, they're going to be amplified on us.
Yeah.
That makes I'm a Libra myself, but my moon is a Cancer, and I can feel it, everything triggering back and forth. And when I disrespect someone else, that disrespect is coming right back to me like a boomerang. Yeah. And this is already understand. So they're very careful with themselves. They've kind of learned how to navigate through the emotions of others. And this is where Cancer from.
Very big difference between a healed and an unhealed Cancer. Yeah. And that is the essential component towards moving energy in the water collective, is talking to the low vibrational Cancer, saying, Cancer, it doesn't matter how much you've done wrong and how much hurt and pain you have. It's time to heal it. Whatever it is, there is someone who loves you, someone who cares. There is someone you can talk to. There is always some exercise that can be tested and tried. And there's always, some method that will work for you, but you got to get up and do the work. You got to be willing to heal to help raise the whole water table, essentially. One of the problems, or some of the problems that we talked about earlier this week in reference to water energies, and I think, you specified basically what Cancer is in their problem sector, is that Cancer is looking to make confessions. Cancer wants to come clean. Cancer is struggling with the confidence to do such a thing, right?
They're testimony. Their testimony.
Yeah, but and they're needing to overcome anxiety and fear. First of all, like you asked me, do I think Cancer would really care about what their family would think? Yeah, absolutely, to a certain extent. But when the Cancer is healed, they care. When the Cancer is unhealed, they don't care. They'll hurt anybody to suffice their agenda. And so Cancer is because of the Chironian transit, Cancer needs to confess. Cancer needs to come clean. Cancer needs to purge. And I'm asking Cancer, please come clean. Come out with it. Tell us what's wrong. Tell us what hurts. Let us help you so that you can heal, because we want our mother back. We want that loving, nurturing energy from you. We want you to be whole again. And like I said, for the feminine Cancer, man, for the feminine Cancer, every feminine Cancer I've ever laid eyes on has so much burden within them. And they walk around, you know how Cancers have the claws. When you piss off a crab, or you intimidate a crab, or you make a crab nervous, have anxiety or fear, what do? They attach to you, they pinch the shit out of you, and they hold on for dear life. Why?
No, Scorpio would do.
Why? Why? What are you gonna accomplish, Cancer? Because no matter how much you do and pinch, how hard you pinch to hold on to something or someone that you know you need to release and let go of, you cannot hold them. And they will leave you anyway, because they will tear away. If you pinch my shirt, I'm going to rip right out of you can have my shirt. You know what I mean? I'm gone. And that's what Cancer is experiencing. The fear and the anxiety that they're going to be abandoned, that they're going to be left alone. But Cancer, you're supposed to be alone a little bit until you heal. And then it's time to build the family. Then it's time to love the world. Then it's time to nurture. But it starts with you. It's got to start with healing yourself. What we felt that Cancer really could do to help bring up the water table energy, moving this energy out of stagnancy, is having more confessions in love, releasing your fears, letting go of the anxiety and the fears that really are blocking you, and talking about some of your weaknesses. If you're willing to open up and say, look, I'm afraid you're going to leave me. I'm afraid I'm going to be alone forever. I'm afraid that you don't love me. I'm afraid that my black magic can't keep you. I don't give a shit what you're doing. But if you talk about it, Cancer, this is how you begin to heal. All right. And keep in mind, this brings up the rest of the water table. You have to recognize that you are either building or supporting and enabling and even cultivating codependent relationships that are keeping you sick. All right. This is where you're using the black magic, the control tactic, the pinch, which is your control tactic. All right. This is where you need to learn cord cutting and just really letting go. If someone was meant to be in your life, Cancer, they would be there. All right. And trust me, people come to you because they need you to love them. And they're not going to be loved by you if you are hurt and scorned. All right. You can't love anyone. And I remember when I was writing this notes, and I don't know if you remember, Donatella, me talking about, I picked up a lot of drug use, a lot of overindulgence energy, a lot of, it was specifically, I wrote down cocaine, a lot of cocaine use. So whatever your cocaine is, Cancer, doesn't have to be, cocaine, but whatever cocaine is for you, this is something that needs to be purged from your system. This is a codependent issue. This is something that makes you feel good because you really truly feel so low. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel like you belong. And you're so afraid that everyone is going to leave you that you're actually willing to lie, steal, cheat, and manipulate and even hurt people to make them stay. And they're not going to stay anyway. You're going to lose because no matter how hard you push, they're going to.
This effect on all three water signs, because
yeah.
When they're so highly intuitive, can you imagine them wanting to just shut it down and just they hear it? I don't want to hear it. I just, yeah, that ability too. Not willing to be able to handle your intuition, suppressing it, either drug use or any kind of addiction. It doesn't have to be a drug use. Any kind of addiction. You could be people to sleep with. You can be obsessed with working. You could be obsessed with money. You could be obsessed with baking. You could be obsessed with anything that just puts a pause on healing whatever is going on in the family or whatever is with celebrate. You can't be with your family and celebrate, then there's something going on. There's an issue and you have to figure out, what is that issue? What's stopping you?
Yeah. Cancer.
Move things forward for us. And if they're stuck themselves, then all of the zodiacs have problems because they have information that they could be holding from us that helps us move forward. Right? Like let's say, for example, a water sign is very knowledgeable. They know many secrets. What if they told us a little bit more information so we could save our own ass? That would help a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that
fear energy.
Maybe we're confusing toxicity with fear.
Yeah. Cancer needs to release their fear. Some of the consequences, Cancer, and you should be taking a note of this too, the consequences of not being willing to do this. All right. And so remember, we're asking you to start with confession, to trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, and have confidence. We're asking you to take a look at your codependent relationships and be willing to set yourself free, to stop people pleasing and stop expecting people to please you when you haven't learned to please yourself. We're asking you to release your fears and your anxiety about this journey so that you can avoid these really horrific and traumatizing consequences. Your consequences, Cancer, all right, are going to be to repeat these patterns. Now, remember, those of you who actually resonate with this are going to be on, I'm really talking to the low vibing Cancer. I feel like my conversation is a gold shovel, and I'm digging in the bottom of the sea, and I'm picking up shit. And there's Cancer. Okay, that's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking about the high vibing Cancer. I'm talking to down there with plans. All right.
The one that's burrowed.
Toxic relationships have to be released. This is going to be a consequence of Cancer refusing to heal. It's each and every relationship, friendship, associateship, your job, your coworker, your boss, your friend, the people you watch on YouTube, me, Donna, anybody is going to piss you off and irritate you because you form toxic relationships because you are toxic within. So you can't have a healthy relationship. And you got to recognize this. You can't sit here and say, oh, they all did me wrong. They don't mess with me. They abandoned me. You can't do that. You got to say, I pushed them away. I pinched too hard on something I should have let go of. Okay. And when Cancer has that realization, they start to release these toxic relationships, which makes room for healthy ones to come in. And they will not be perfectly healthy relationships. They'll be soulmate relationships that will help Cancer get back on land or maybe to a higher level of, of ascension. But the other
Gomez, you see that even still recently, I think it was just recently she released a song that's called Let Go. Still, after how many years has it been? She's still struggling inside that.
I haven't heard it, but I did hear about it. Somebody was just telling me about that 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, there was a lot of suppressed emotion that Cancer went through because there were things that they could not express that they were still lingering onto years later, even though she tried, for example. I don't know her on a personal level, but we can see that she's trying to date other people or see other people, and she's still connected to the past. So when you're connected to the past spiritually, you're someone physically. And when your spirit and your body can't connect together, it's like you're in two different places. You can have, at that point, you can find two different lovers that are connecting on two different spheres of your life. One is a spirit, let's say, have you ever heard of the term of spiritual husband?
Yes. Kingdom husband. Yeah.
I don't know if you have ever listened to Justin Bieber's songs recently, but it's like he's missing the ghost of somebody else. But then he claims that he's so happy and he wants to have children and he's married and this and that. So I think people are separating 3D and 5D, and that's when your relationship can get very dangerous. If you're pretending that someone else is somebody else, if that makes any sense. And I think that when you rush it, it's okay to be sentimental. It's okay to have these memories, but you got to talk about it. You cannot rush into the next stage without healing and resetting. And that's why the healed Cancers are always telling you, hey, make sure you go to the lake, make sure you go swimming, make sure you take a shower, make sure you take a bath, make sure you heal yourself, because those are the ones that are healed. Those are the ones that are telling you how to reset. So for the ones that know how to heal, they're actually the best mentors when it comes to resetting your soul, when it comes to refreshing your soul. They're the best for that. But if they are scorned, just like any other water sign, because of their capabilities and their intuition, it can turn into manipulation when they're not healed, because they're progressing in ways that are enabling people that should not be enabled.
And the consequence of that manipulation for not just Cancer, but for any water sign, is absolute psychosis. Are you with me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you bumped out. All right. So I see Cancer getting a lot of psychosis and lots of physical illness as a derivative of that traumatic residual, body stuff. But if they're not healing it emotionally, it shows up in their body. So Cancer, you're dying young because you're not healing past life stuff from 7, 8, 900 years ago. All right. And you're still having these, you're reconnecting, thank God for this age of Aquarius. I mean, I'm so excited now that I have such more understanding about, why that I choose to reincarnate in this particular energy cycle. I know why. I know what I came here to do. And I've been doing it quite diligently. And, the thing is, I didn't have any help from Cancer. Cancer let me down for every step of the way. Cancer let me down. Cancer did not help me at all. They couldn't.
There could be a triggering from abandonment issue. But if Cancer has abandonment issues, they're gonna have a hard time letting you figure out your genealogy. If that makes sense. They're just they're gonna be like Aries and say, hey, just think about moving forward. But then that can backfire is the problem. You got to figure out how to solve it, because these past things have connections to other things that could constrict you from moving forward. And if you're too sentimental, you're going to be triggered everywhere you go.
Yes.
Every single thing, the grass, the stores, the sky, the moon, the sun, everything is going to trigger you. So you have to learn how to talk about things that are even embarrassing you. So that's just something I really want to say to every single water sign. You have to talk about the things that are even embarrassing to you, just so that way you can reset and heal, not to leave it in trauma, but to have a goal and to move it forward for the simple goal of everybody getting along, not just for the two people in the relationship, but everybody in the family. And if you think that that's not important, it becomes toxic. Yeah. I would say people are not toxic, but situations can be toxic, and actions can be toxic. And that's something that I think that's very toxic, is when everybody can't get along, when there's not understanding between everyone included.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Very, very well said. I guess that would be my only request to Cancer is I have no resentment for being let down by Cancer. And Cancer itself has played such a big and important part of my life. And, the Cancer placement that I have in my chart, which I do not care to share, okay, because I'm still in the midst of an extraordinarily even though I win, but an extraordinarily challenging spiritual warfare right now. And in my spiritual warfare, it actually involves a Cancer. So I don't want to share exactly where Cancer is in my chart, but personally, and wherever it is, that element, that part of my life suffered because of the Cancer collective. So where, you understand what I'm saying?
If you heal it with that specific zodiac, that part of your chart starts healing.
I did, but I didn't have any help from the collective. And I looked to the collective when I learned my chart, and I said, okay, this is in my chart. It's also a very prevalent and important element in my life. Okay, ABC people in my life who are, my immediate people, very important, influential people in my life. So, okay, this is in my chart. This is what it means for me. This is what I need to do with that energy. Now I look to these people. How did these people influence me, and how am I utilizing this energy? Well, I was really let down. I was really disappointed. I was dismayed to understand how horribly, badly the Cancer element had abandoned me. And I was like, shit.
But another one came in.
I have to fix this so I can help Cancer. And every Cancer that, has come to me for, that refreshment, I've had to be Cancer's mom. I've had to heal Cancer. Cancer could never be strong enough to heal me. Cancer is just not powerful enough to help me. And so where Cancer was in my chart, for me, it was like the hardest energy or the hardest lessons in my own personal life for me to overcome, because the Cancer collective doesn't get it.
But if one is coming,
how much of an effect it's had.
If one is coming out of your life, another one is coming in. That means that the lesson has not been learned.
No,
because one comes out.
There's none coming in. I'm done with that. We don't do Cancer over here.
Yeah, it's usually happens when we have mother wounds. So you're going to run into a Capricorn when you have father wounds. You're going to run into a Cancer when you have mother wounds. They usually have a specific job. All of these zodiacs have specific jobs, but you got to be careful with the water signs, because the water signs, they can manipulate energy much faster because they can do it through a form of telepathy. For example, Selena Gomez's songs, they're still affecting us. And no matter how much people say they don't, they do. One song can trigger back your memory. If your memory, you ever notice that you're laughing by yourself for no reason because of a conversation you had in your mind?
Yes.
Well, sadness is like that too. When we're triggered, it's like that too. When we hear songs, it's like that too. If someone else is being sentimental, it could affect you too.
Yes.
And like I said, if you if you have any issues with healing your mother or father, if you have any issues with that, Cancer or Capricorn comes in. They have a job to do, just like you do with so many different incarnations. I don't know what everybody's beliefs are, but with different incarnations that we have, we're going to have different life lessons that we go through, and different people are coming back in our life in different forms. So if one Cancer is coming out of your life, another one is coming in. You have to learn what that lesson is.
If the lesson has not been learned, if that energy has not been healed.
Right.
Yes. And sometimes that element is coming in to learn from you, not to teach you. Sometimes you are the teacher.
Yes.
So for me in particular, I healed my Cancer energy. It took me close to 40 something years to heal that Cancer energy. And then a majority of that journey was, being unaware that I have a Cancer issue. You know what I mean? And Cancer was all around me. And my mom is Cancer, and you're absolutely correct. All right. So my mother is a Cancer, and one of the hardest relationships for me to heal was that one with my mom. And you're right. Once that relationship is healed, that energy and that element within you can be healed. Doesn't mean it is, because it might be, there might be more work to be done. But
so if you're healing
the icing on the cake, everyone is different.
Right. And it has a ripple effect. So now these other people are going to be healing more people through the lessons that you taught them. And that's why your energy is going to start being addictive. Just like, because they may have, if someone is very healing, they could be addicted to that. And if they don't have that attachment towards them, they could be addicted towards something else.
Yeah.
But that's when the energy transforms and transitions, when it's through a friendship that helps them heal.
Yeah.
It's a high vibe, high elevation, getting out of toxicity, getting out of addiction, and learning how to communicate.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And that's where air signs come in. We teach others how to talk, or it's okay to express, don't be scared. Just say whatever you got to say. That helps others.
I have a beloved expression for that. I like to teach people to first express yourself, first explain yourself. All right. That's the confession energy that we're asking Cancer to do. First explain yourself, and then express yourself. Take what you feel, take those emotions, and create. And see, this is what Selena Gomez is missing. She's not explaining herself. Instead, she's expressing herself. So we're still getting that ripple effect. We're still feeling her suppressed emotions. She's still pinching Justin Bieber.
Right.
You said it without saying it. She's still pinching him. Even though he's gone. He tore away. He's got a new family. You feel me?
Yeah.
Selena's still pinched on, right? But she's not telling us that. But she's showing us that. We feel it.
Yes.
And this is a problem with Cancer. Cancer has to explain what they've done.
She weakens herself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And so she's not going to reach her full potential.
Yeah.
She's only going to get so high, and then she's going to explode. She's going to have to explain this shit one day. Maybe not to us, but she's going to have to explain it to somebody. She might have to explain it to Justin one day. Justin may just show up at the door and say, look.
It starts the way you look. When you start taking care of yourself the way that you used to, or you're be intact. She mentions she's sick. She mentions she has lupus, instead of mentioning the things that she's excited about, the things that are going to transform her. I mean, sometimes we'll see those posts, but for the majority, it's more of her emotion that we pick up on. It's not, she might have projects here and there, but as the public, what we're getting is more of the sadness, right?
Which is past tense energy. Yeah. Cancer lives in the past. Cancer loves antiques, which have very old energies and sometimes ancient and ancestral energies in them. And their ability to connect to and sentiently feel those energies messes up Cancer so bad. How can a Cancer heal their own shit when they're taking on everybody else's? Come on, Cancer. Can't happen.
Well, they love beautiful things, and sometimes heirlooms can affect us too. So be careful with what rings you're putting on, what you're brushing your hair with, what clothes you're putting on. Make sure all these things they're very sensitive. They're very, very sensitive. So just be careful with who you're around and what you're touching. You could just pick something up and they don't even understand what energy they just touched. Even just
and angry and hurt.
Yeah.
Feeling someone else's pain that doesn't even belong to them. And then they project this onto other people. And of course, when the Cancer collective is suffering that ripple effect, it triggers Scorpio, it triggers Pisces. And then we have this whole water table that is off. So when they run to an air sign or fire sign or an earth sign, trauma bonds are formed. There's your confirmation. And we got to stop this. This is what the esoteric hour is all about. Two empresses coming together, trying to move that energy so we can stop this, so we can help you through this Chironian transit, so we can heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you like to say about Pisces or Scorpio?
Well, Pisces and Scorpio are just a higher level of Cancer. You know, it's pretty much all the water signs, but Pisces is going to help you fantasize, and Scorpio is going to help you put the finances together in that dream. So once you get up to that first level and you understand that first level, it's like raising a psychic from when they're a baby to an adult. And when you understand your capabilities, you get to the next level, you power up, and then you can help other people power up. And this is all going to stop when there's addiction, whether there's addiction with any kind of thing that you're addicted to. If you cannot focus and get yourself out there to help other people and understand what your mission is in your own life, do your research for your genealogy. Do not allow mother, father issues to hinder you. You are going to find mentors. You are going to find things that you can study. So that way you can ramp up your psychic abilities. And that's where the magic happens.
Pisces. Yeah. You know what? Pisces, get your pen and paper. There's a really big surprise transit out there for you right now. It is here for a very short period of time. So I hope that you will take advantage of it. I do not have the specifics on exactly how long it is here. I didn't really calculate that for you. Book a reading and we can get deep into stuff like that. But you've got Neptune and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces for a very short period of time, which, you know, in a nutshell, Pisces, it means if you are in alignment, if you are healed, if you are high vibing, and if you are ready, you can manifest all of your dreams, all of them.
Yes.
They will literally be realized.
Pay attention to dreams too. Like, write them down. Understand if you're going through, if your trauma is passing, maybe it's a dream that will help you get rid of your trauma, or it's going to be a clue to what is happening next. And Pisces really needs to pay attention to their dream, because they're going to be helping others learn how to interpret their own dreams too. They're going to help others learn how to.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Dream capital is Pisces.
Yes. And they're going to help Aries too. So if you're having any issues with fire signs at all, or air signs, so if water signs are having issues at all with any fire signs or air signs, Pisces is going to help them. Another water sign will come in and help them out of their mood or their whatever they're going through. So if they're with or talking to or very close to another water sign, it's there to help them level up. It might be just temporary. It doesn't mean it's necessarily permanent. So I don't want to.
It's at the level of frequency that they're at now. If you got two low vibing ones and two high vibing ones, the result is wherever you're at.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I really need to express that. And I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, very important. It depends on where you're at.
Right.
All help is out.
The zodiac. They're going to help us move. So if you can move in your mind. If you could be there in your mind, you could be there physically. You really can. And they're going to help us dream into our future.
Yep.
I love. I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Cancer's battle.
I'm sorry? You broke up.
Sorry. I was saying that Cancer is the satellite for Pisces dreams. So once everybody is kicked back into gear, everything is just going to move like 200 miles per hour. Like 300 miles per hour, like in an airplane or something. But the energy is going to move once water is on track.
I don't trust Pisces. I have never trusted Pisces because Pisces is naive and an illusionary, right? But the good thing about Pisces is they're also a behind the veil kind of visionary, right? But
right.
What I don't trust about Pisces, keep the Pisces away from me, please. I don't do Pisces. But the Pisces, what I don't trust about Pisces is that Pisces will have a vision and it's not even real. It's all their imagination. And they will have this imaginary vision and they will snapshot it, freeze it in time, and they will destroy everything and everyone around that snapshot. And they can't see anything. Nothing exists except for the snapshot. And until an air sign comes in and destroys that Pisces will not even be able to see that, oh, that was just a dream.
The reality will check in once air sign is around a water sign. That's when reality checks in. So that's why it's good to have these conversations today, because the air signs are there to help everybody express and communicate. So once we get all the water signs expressing, communicating, especially out of addiction, like if there's any low frequency water signs that are dealing with addiction right now, they have to understand where that feeling of repression is coming from. Once they understand that, then they can move towards the next process in their life. I mean, the next progress in their life. And what that is becoming a mentor for others. They're literally mentors for others. Even if they can't understand it now or can't sense it now, they end up eventually being mentors for others, whether it's good
or some kind of healing in energy work, whether it's nursing, babysitting, caring for others, foster parents, foster care. Cancer should be somewhere in supporting the family dynamic, maybe activism, advocating for marriages and the support of marriages and the decline, trying to help to eliminate the decline of divorce. And also, first of all, Cancer will have to learn to be a monogamous lover, all right, to learn to be faithful, to learn to be honest, to learn to have integrity with their body, with their self, and then in a relationship. All right. And then they can ask for these types of respectful terms and conditions in their own lives, dealing with other people. I think she got bumped out. Okay. So did she come back? Let's see if she comes back. So if Cancer, let's see. Let me send her the invite again. And I'll just have to edit. So essentially what I'm saying is if Cancer is willing to, if Cancer is willing to basically heal themselves, they can help heal the rest of the water table. And then things begin to move. Chiron is here to spank our ass. Chiron is here to say, you're going to have to let go of this. You're going to have to heal this. You're going to have to purge this. It's okay. It's as if you're a baby on God's shoulder and God is patting your back. That is the behavior of Chiron saying, okay, let it out. Let's heal this. It's okay. All right. I got you. I got you. And you can cry on the shoulder of Chiron and you can let it out. And Cancer, you need to let it out. You need to confess. You need to clear out your baggage. Okay, her phone died on a full battery, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because basically our conversation was done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up. So essentially, Pisces and Scorpio. Basically, the same thing kind of applies to you. Everyone, the moon is in Cancer. You've got the South Node is still with Chiron in Aries. That's a lot of painful stuff. So whatever your past life stuff is, whatever your past life position is, whatever you were doing in your past life, and this is for everyone, whatever it was that you were doing in your past life, all right, whatever life you were living, whatever your spirituality was, whatever your belief system was, whatever your soul's core system was built on in your past life energy, that residual energy up to maybe 900 years ago, you're dealing with that shit right now. And I'm telling you right now, as a water element, if it's weighing you down, causing you to form and formulate trauma bonds and traumatic experiences to where you're living in pain and in suffrage all your life, it's just simply because you're not healing. There's nothing else wrong. You gotta heal. So start with explaining yourself. Confess, especially Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of you, water signs, talking to the whole water table. It's time for you to confess. Confess what's on your heart. Confess what's on your soul, your mind. Confess what you've done. Confess what you should have done, what you didn't do, what you could have done, what you did do, what you said. Confess. Just tell the truth. Just let it out. It doesn't matter how nasty, how bad, how hurtful, how hard you tried to destroy someone else or something else, or it destroyed you. You need to explain it, okay? And you need to let it all out and release it. And when you do, you need to go into hiding for a little while, hermit energy, and just heal. Just love on yourself. Show yourself the compassion that we need from you. And when you can do that, you've got the support of Neptune and Jupiter, all right, which is in Pisces. Oh my gosh. You got the Sun and Saturn in Aquarius, so you were thinking long term, we're thinking future, your future dreams, your future aspirations, the things that you'd like to do that you just can't even touch because you're so hung up on the past. You can start to realize these things finally, all right, once you explain yourself, all right? And then you've got Mercury and Pluto, which is you have to tell the truth. You got to come clean. And that's in Capricorn energy. So you have to do this. You got to trust yourself. You got to believe in yourself. Record a video and tell the damn truth. All right. And share it to whoever needs it. Just tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I swear to God, your life will just, all of that trauma will start to lift from you. It has no choice but to go away, because you speaking the truth, you letting it out, you releasing this is going to give you that clarity on how to move forward, how to change, how to be better, how to live with a lighter heart, right? And then you get your Venus and Mars energy, which is also in Capricorn. So you can start setting higher standards and higher boundaries for yourself. So you can start capitalizing on your pain by expressing yourself finally, by being creative, creating, new businesses, new projects, whatever it is that you fantasize about, whatever it is in that Aquarian energy that could benefit you. All right. That could change your life around. You have to decipher. All right. But it starts with your confession. Okay. That is essentially all we really wanted to share. I apologize. Actually, I had Donatella waiting for about 5 to 10 minutes while I kind of got things together. And she was sitting at the park with a fully charged battery and unfortunately didn't make it through the whole meeting. She said to let her phone charge for 2 minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and close the stuff and let it go. And then she and I can collaborate on our next project. And that's it, you guys. So make sure that you click the links below and get subscribed to my channel. I am Akut Alegna Core. And also click on over to the links below for my Patreon page and also my membership page here. I'm going to start opening up about my embodiment journey and tell you how I figured out I am core and what that really means. All right. So also Donatella Empress of Swords, her YouTube channel and her information is going to be listed below. You can also feel free to click on her stuff and join in on her fun as well. And if you would like to participate in a wonderful Zoom meeting here with me and collaborate with Empress Esoteric Hour, I would love that. Simply click the links below and we'll talk about it and we'll see where you fit in and we can get the party started. All right, you guys, I love you. Go love yourself. Bye.